Andrew Jackson was born at a young age into poverty. His dad died, his brother died, and his mom died all before he was 14. It's a good thing his uncles adopted him and taught him how to be a great person. Andrew Jackson became the 7th president of the United States and did absolutely nothing wrong in his life or in okay, so apparently he wasn't too great after all. Anyways, we ranked some of the stuff he did in a tier list.
What's a tier list? A tier list is a list of objects, actions, or events ranked from worst to best. In our tier list, D tier is something we deemed as lame or justified, and S is the worst thing he did.
Starting at D tier, we put the cane. A man with a golden revolver shot at Andrew Jackson during one of his speeches. The man missed both shots, and Jackson proceeded to beat him into submission with his cane. It's in D tier because this was done in self-defense, so more power to him.
America, America.
Also in D tier is his death. He died a boring death of lead poisoning from his many duels. It's in D tier because it's not very exciting. There was also never a clear consensus of his true last words, so we may never know for sure.
His gambling addiction we put in C tier. He played poker, dice games, and bet on animal fights. It gets a C tier because he bet away his grandfather's inheritance. We are big poker advocates, and it's really disappointing to see the only time gambling didn't work.
Next up are his duels, which we put in B tier. He was in more than 100 duels, most of which for his wife's honor. He won 83 of his duels, with the rest ending in draws.
America, America.
Ways, you'd think people would catch on after 10 or so duels that it was so good.
We'll put his destruction of the American economy in A tier. He destroyed the economy mainly through the Tariff of Abominations. Jackson inherited this tariff when he took office, however he was very reluctant to make any changes to it. The tariff raised the price of imported goods in an effort to stimulate the domestic economy. It had disastrous effects as it was heavily opposed by the South, specifically South Carolina, who attempted to secede from the Union.
We put both his owning of slaves and pro-slavery sentiments in S tier. He died with 161 slaves and would publicly whip them. Obviously horrible, we put it in S tier.
That was better.
The Trail of Tears gets its own tier of tier. He caused the Trail of Tears through the Indian Removal Act in 1830, which was the slaughter and displacement of hundreds of thousands of Native Americans. He gave them land west of the Mississippi and forced them to leave their homes. Not cool.
Alright, so that's our tier list. Thank you. Bye.
With a golden revolver.
A tier list is a list of option something. You whip them.
Don't say whip up.
What am I doing wrong?
Whip
Whip
them.
the